My name is Lisa, and what I'm about to share with you is not just a story. It's a piece of my soul. It's every moment I never say out loud, every feeling I hid, every fear I buried, every truth I denied, even to myself. I wasn't born brave. I wasn't born special. I was just a quiet girl in a noisy world, a girl who watched more than she spoke, a girl who learned early on that silence was safer than truth, that if you didn't say what hurt, it couldn't hurt you more. But silence is a liar, and over time, it becomes a cage. A soft, invisible prison where your thoughts echo so loud they start to drown you. I grew up in a small house in a city that felt too big for my heart. It rained a lot. Maybe that's why I love cloudy days even now. Maybe that's why I always felt a little gray inside. My mother was a strong woman. Not strong in the way you read in books, but strong in the way women must be when life doesn't give them choices. She worked 2 jobs, barely smiled, and loved me the only way she knew how, through rules, warnings, and worry. My father? He left when I was 10. One morning he kissed my forehead, told me to be a good girl, and just never came back. No explanation, no goodbye. For a while I thought maybe he died. That would have made more sense. But no, he was alive. Just not with us. That was the first time I learned what it feels like to be abandoned, to become invisible to someone who once held your hand. I didn't cry at first. I just stopped talking. For days, maybe even weeks. I stopped asking questions. I stopped laughing. I started writing in a little pink notebook my grandmother had given me. I didn't even write sentences, just words. Lonely, cold, afraid, wrong, empty, invisible. That notebook became my first friend. I told it everything. Every feeling. Every nightmare. Every dream I didn't dare speak aloud. I even gave it a name. Mia. I needed to feel like someone was listening, even if it was just paper. At school I wore a mask. Not a real one. Just the kind that girls wear when they need to survive. I smiled when teachers looked at me. I said thank you, even when I wanted to scream. I helped classmates with their homework because helping them made me feel like I had a purpose. But inside, I was disappearing. I had one friend back then, Anaya. She was loud, full of jokes, and always dragging me into things. She said I was her peace, and she was my chaos. She made life feel a little lighter. But even she didn't know the whole truth about me. I never told her how scared I was all the time, how I'd wake up at night panicking that my mother might leave me too, how I hated looking in the mirror because I didn't recognize the girl looking back. When I turned 16, everything changed. My mother lost her job, bills piled up. We had to move into a smaller apartment, 1 bedroom, shared between us. She cried in the bathroom most nights. I pretended not to hear. I got a part-time job at a bookstore, mostly to help, but also because it was the one place I felt safe. Books didn't judge you. They didn't leave you. They held you. They spoke when you were too tired to speak. And that's where I met Matthew. He wasn't perfect, but he was kind. He was a few years older, worked in the cafe section, and had this calmness in his eyes I had never seen before. He noticed me. Not the fake smile, not the perfect grades, but me. We started talking. Slowly. Quietly. We'd sit on the floor after closing and read poetry together. He introduced me to Rumi, to Sylvia Plath, to Pablo Neruda. He said, "You have a poet's heart, Lisa. You just haven't bled on paper yet." No one had ever said something like that to me before. I told him things I never told anyone. Not everything, but enough to feel seen. He listened. Really listened. And I started to believe maybe I wasn't broken. Maybe I was just waiting to be heard. But happiness for me never lasted long. One night my mother found a letter he wrote me. A beautiful letter. But she saw it as a threat. She screamed. She cried. She told me I was throwing my life away, that boys only want one thing, that I was foolish, naive, selfish, that she sacrificed everything for me, and now I was going to destroy it all. And just like that, I ended it. I stopped replying to his messages. I avoided the bookstore. I went numb again. And Matthew, he didn't chase me. Maybe he thought I stopped caring. Maybe he thought I found someone else. Maybe he was just tired. I don't blame him. People can only wait so long before they walk away. I finished school with high grades. I got into a good college. Everyone was proud. But inside I felt hollow. Like I had lost something important. Like I had betrayed myself. College was different, bigger, louder, and more lonely than I expected. I saw people laughing in groups while I sat alone with my books. I smiled at classmates and got blank stares back. I went days without speaking to anyone, until one day I signed up for a storytelling club. I don't even know why. Maybe I was desperate. Maybe I wanted to hear other people's truths. Maybe I just wanted someone to ask, "What's your story?" The first few weeks, I said nothing. I just listened. And oh, how people shared about heartbreak, addiction, family pain, fear, love, loss, real stories, raw stories. It was beautiful and terrifying. Then one day someone didn't show up. There was an open slot, and the host looked at me. "You want to try?" My heart was pounding. My hands were cold. But something inside me whispered, "Speak." So I did. I told a small story about my pink notebook, about the words I used to write when I had no voice, about Mia. And for the first time in my life, people clapped, not out of pity, but because they felt it. They understood. That night, a girl came up to me and said, "Thank you. I have a notebook too. I call mine Blue." I went home and cried. But it wasn't a sad cry. It was the kind that cleans you out, that makes room for something new. From that point, I started speaking more, sharing more. I joined spoken word poetry nights. I started writing under a fake name on the internet. People began messaging me. "Your words feel like my thoughts. How did you know what I was feeling? You helped me sleep tonight." And I realized something powerful. We are never alone in our pain. Never. We just think we are because we hide it. Because the world teaches us to pretend, to perform, to be strong even when we're breaking. But I think real strength is saying, "I'm hurting." Real bravery is saying, "I need help." Real love, the kind that heals, begins when you let someone see the parts of you that are still bleeding. I'm 25 now. I don't live with my mother anymore. We talk sometimes. It's not perfect, but I'm learning to forgive her. Not because she was right, but because I don't want to carry hate in my heart anymore. She did her best. Maybe her best wasn't enough, but it was what she had. I don't know where Matthew is. Sometimes I wonder if he's happy, if he still writes poetry, if he ever thinks of me when it rains. But I'm not waiting anymore. I've learned to be my own home, my own friend, my own safe place. And now, I share my story, like this, with you. Not because I have all the answers, not because I'm healed, but because stories are how we survive. Stories are how we connect, how we learn that even in the darkest moments, we're not the only ones stumbling through the night. If you're listening to me now, and you feel like you're drowning in silence, write, speak, cry, reach. Someone will hear you. Even if it's just a page. Even if it's just a stranger. And if no one else does, remember, I do. You're not invisible. You never were. Thank you for listening. Lisa.